says that you can use it as a multi-track, but do not expect studio quality.
I don't want to engineer or producer judging this stuff. I just want it to feel like I'm in the room by myself.
Then you found your man.
And then with nobody but himself and Mike Batlin, his guitar tech, in the room, in this bedroom, and this TIAC machine, he started laying down some demo tracks that he would then bring into the studio.
I want us to run everything through this Echoplex, all right? On all the tracks we're mixing. Just like Elvis's early Sun records.
This all feels right, yes?
Yeah, I think it looks good.
Here, we're gonna play it back through here.
Yep.
So we hear it through this play down, because as we're mixing it down, it's coming through the Echoplex, which will be the final take, obviously.
When they were listening to the songs they recorded, they were listening back on a boombox that was an old Panasonic, but it slowed down a little bit, and that's the playback that they listened to when they were recording.
I think it's the distance that we're hearing. It's like it's from the past or something.
He tried to re-record them. He didn't like what he came up with.
Chuck, you just master directly off the tape. Please, directly off the tape.
The cassette was recorded so unusually that on vinyl, it would skip, it would jump, it would distort. It simply wouldn't take the sound that was on the cassette. And it took Charlie Plotkin, played by Mark Maron in the film, months to get that cassette onto vinyl.
And it reminds us that there's nothing that can replace the power of a kind of unadorned humanity.
Last night I dreamed that... You know, at the time, some people aren't happy with Nebraska. They want more, they want Hungry Heart.
I gotta be honest with you, I don't understand why an artist would make this record.
It's a departure.
No.
Yeah, departure.
The Nebraska story is ultimately an inspiration story.
Make it home through the fall.
Springsteen's choice to expose his own humanity with Nebraska was and is, to me, profound.
Despite everything telling him that this was not the record to make and it was not the path to be on, because of his heart, he had to follow through with it. And that takes a certain amount of courage.
That's everything I want. That's it.
You got it.
All right? Thank you.
Nebraska and the recording of this album and the struggle and the battle for authenticity is a metaphor for Bruce's life and the battle that he has fought and won and has become the artist that he is by remaining true to himself and to his roots.
Feels good to be back out there.
It's the story of a man who's looking down off the edge of a cliff. And it's about how, he pulls himself out of this thing. I think it's a really human story about somebody making the right choices in their life at a time where that was a very difficult thing to do.
It's an artist that we all know and many love that is at his most painful time of his life. So for Bruce to allow me to tell that story so openly and so honestly and with such vulnerability, I think is just a testament to who he is as an artist. And I'm grateful that he entrusted this story with me.
Happy New Year. Does Faye live here?
Who are you?
I'm Bruce.
Finding someone to play Bruce Springsteen is as daunting a task as I've ever faced in casting a film. You're talking about someone who's an American icon that we all seem to know, or whatever that version that we gravitate towards of Bruce.
I'm really glad you came.
Me too. Let's go have some fun.
Yeah.
In that first dinner with Eric Robinson, I said, who do you think would make this movie? And he said,
I said Scott Cooper is the only person that I could think of that should write and direct it. And to play Bruce, Jeremy Allen White.
Pure pipe dream stuff. And Eric Robinson called it.
Scott really casts his own movies. He has in mind who he wants for every role. So while we mentioned to him Jeremy Allen White, he'd already sort of been thinking about Jeremy Allen White. And I think when he introduced Jeremy's work to Bruce, Bruce felt like he was also the guy.
I've been watching The Bear, and There was some sort of physical resemblance, some sort of the way he carried himself, and then there was the way the camera read his internal life. That was really essential. I just said, this is the guy, you know, I didn't have number two.
Jeremy Allen White brings to Bruce that pathos. He has a real depth. He's very introspective in terms of behavior patterns, which is very similar to Bruce when you study him.
Two of the things that Jeremy has that I thought were critical is humility and swagger. And they don't teach swagger at Juilliard. You either have it or you don't. And Jeremy has it, and he has this kind of quiet confidence that Bruce has that I thought would allow him to perfectly embody all of the complexities that I needed.
Scott called me, and he told me a little bit about the story, that we wanted to make a film that is about a musician, but it's a snapshot of this period in Bruce's life.
Jeremy has this kind of natural, lived-in presence, apart from what I see as a physical resemblance of Bruce in 1981 and 82, so much so that Bruce's wife, Patty, when she saw him on set, said, "Oh my God, Bruce, looks like when I first met you."
I think when you start with you,
I had not sung, and I didn't know how to play the guitar, and I knew that was something that Scott wanted. And so I was hesitant and just wanted to make sure that everybody knew, you know, we were going to be taking a leap of faith together. But he said Bruce was a part of the casting process, and once I knew I kind of had Bruce's blessing, that gave me the confidence to accept and kind of go on the journey.
Jeremy Allen White has really worked so incredibly hard to become Bruce in so many different facets of what that means, and Bruce has been very helpful with him. He's really given him a lot of validation on his performance.
You know, the first time I met him was the summer before we started filming. We started filming in fall, in October. And I had this really great, you know, afternoon and evening with him. He took me on a little tour of Freehold, and it was Bruce showing an incredible amount of humility.
Jeremy would call Bruce and ask him about certain lyrics or the way Bruce played guitar. What might Bruce be wearing? So much so that what you see in the film, a lot of it, is Bruce's actual wardrobe. Kasia Wilicki-Mamone, our wonderful costume designer, used that to great effect.
Bruce Springsteen himself brought us a bunch of pieces that we're using a few of them, but we're definitely reflecting, very much studied his style and tried to find a language for Jeremy that is his own version of Bruce, but very faithfully inspired by what Bruce Springsteen was wearing at that period.
Bruce also gave Jeremy a Gibson J200 guitar that he played when he recorded Nebraska. Jeremy uses that in the film. So Bruce's fingerprints are all over the DNA of this film in a way I think that has only enhanced the authenticity that Bruce brings to every facet of his life.
I gotta do something. Just sitting around doing nothing.
Bruce was so caring. He was a dream. I mean, he was always available, honest, easy to be around. He wanted me to ask the questions, and he wanted me to do good work and feel good about what we were all going into.
It's an interesting thing seeing yourself portrayed, but Jeremy made it very easy, of course, because one, he's so good in the film, and two, because he didn't try to do any sort of impression. He didn't try to really sound like my voice when I'm speaking. He simply inhabited my inner life.
This wasn't a film, of course, about mimicry. It's a film about finding the essence of who Bruce is. But I think Jeremy's live performance adds profound authenticity to this.
We're rolling, boss, so whenever you're ready.
I remember kind of holding a guitar for the first time and trying to wrap my fingers around the strings, and it just felt so foreign.
The transformative work that Jeremy has done to become Bruce is astonishing.
The performance aspect with all that stuff, that was just time. I got together with JD, who was my guitar teacher, and 4 to 6 times a week for 5 months.
Relax. That's it. That's the only one.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. Joblo remains an independent company, and we appreciate all of your support.